right now. Welcome, everybody, listeners from all around the world. I have the Electric Alex, and I am just middle, the middleman, Malcolm, here to talk to you today on Real Talk, all about Donald Trump and how the United States has continued to
Mm.
um, look to re-elect this man that is supposedly a a criminal. It's kind of interesting. Like I don't get how you can elect a criminal. I mean, like it wouldn't be. I guess it wouldn't be kosher if you turned around and said, "Hey, Charles Manson, I know you killed all those people, but let's
Well,
make you run
well,
for president today."
well. Let's I think dial it back a bit because he
Mhm.
hasn't been convicted of any crimes, but he
This
is
is
a
true.
he's been charged with limitless crimes,
An
and I mean let's be honest,
unlimited amount of crimes. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, and
yeah,
as the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's usually fire,
yeah.
and I mean for myself, I'm already kind of flabbergasted, as some of my white friends would say. Um, at the fact that this guy got
Flabbergasted.
even nominated or was still even a consideration, considering how he started out with his um infamous Billy Bush tapes about grabbing
Mm,
her by the pussy and all this other stuff. Like that's just not, you know,
not
let's be
kosher.
honest.
It's
Like,
not
well,
ethical.
let's be honest. Like seriously, anyone in any kind of a job, never mind, like head of a country, speaking in certain way would not be up for that job, would not be even a consideration for that position. Do
This
you
is
know what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah.
And
And this
here,
is the
this,
highest
yeah, like this
position
world
in.
superpower on this world stage is considered this piece of shit. Yeah, I don't like that's all I can say is a piece of shit. I can't say I know the man personally, but for me, he's displayed himself and opened up his mouth enough, whether it's planted or I don't give a fuck. He's a piece of shit, period. And
Yeah.
how he can be even considered for a second term? Are you fucking kidding me? How's it possible? Like what? Like how is it in 2024 where we're still talking about this piece of shit? Like seriously,
That's fair. You know,
seriously,
the way I look at it is if he was a black man or a Hispanic man,
it wouldn't be even a
this wouldn't
consideration.
even be
Would
a
not even be a
conversation.
consideration. Yeah, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
Like seriously. And don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, like it's great for all the late night laughs and all that shit, but even that I'm getting tired of. Like it's enough. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
just it's he's got to go away. Like it's not funny anymore. Seriously. It's uh, like honestly, like to me, the fact that even the rest of the world just sits idle watching this shit,
Mhm.
like like let's just see what happens. Seriously? No,
Yeah. Well,
no,
that's all we
no,
can do,
no,
though. We have
no,
no
no,
peace
no, no,
in
no, no,
electing
no,
him.
no, no. The whole world can say no. Like seriously, no. Like
It
we
could.
can, like even Canada could say no. We're not dealing with this guy if this guy's even an option for you guys. Seriously, for example. Yeah, no, we're like we do
I,
not
th- I
support that.
I think the rest of the world would tell us to clean up our own backyard before we go and put
Exactly.
aside the United States.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like to me, there's bigger topics that we should be talking about, like homelessness and hunger, world hunger, and all that shit. But here we're talking about this piece of shit because it's just I'm blown away. To be honest with you, I am blown away. And
Yeah.
not to even mention his more recent trial that's going on with some sort of assault that I didn't know about that he's been tried and found guilty of because he had to pay, and now it's just how much more does he have to pay for the
Right.
defamation? Okay,
Right.
like okay, so no, so right, he is a known criminal because he has been charged for this one
Oh,
crime but with
well, there you
assault.
go.
You're right about that one, yeah, because this was a
Yeah.
recent thing. That's true.
Mhm.
I forgot about that one, which was what I sent to you in the first place, and that's why we're having this conversation,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so he was found guilty of that, and I believe someone to pay X amount. But because he talked shit about this person that he raped or assaulted, on top
Mhm.
of it, now he's got to pay defamation on top of it, even more money.
Yeah. Well, the evidence is
And this
damning, but
guy's
they're
the
still
leading
okay.
GOP runner right now.
Mhm. Well, There have
No, no,
been
listen to me.
several of
He
these
is
guys
the
that have.
leading GOP runner, like the leading for the leading top. And likely if he gets through, he will be Biden because Biden's been a sleepy motherfucker too on top of it.
They have,
You know what I mean?
they,
I mean,
it's a
the
killer
only
amount of
difference is he's a
choices,
better
man.
personality and he doesn't talk as much shit as the other dummy.
Hmm.
But he is a sleepy motherfucker too. But it's like seriously, I mean, I would much rather Biden than this idiot. Period, hands
Hmm.
down.
Yeah, but the thing is, for the U.S., they look at, okay, their prosperity and everything like that.
Fuck your
I
prosperity. I don't give a shit about your prosperity if you got zero class. You got zero, like, seriously? Like,
well,
fuck your prosperity.
but I think that's what the American public is clamoring for. They don't even care at what cost this is going to come at anymore. It just doesn't matter because they're probably so sick of Biden,
No,
and
yeah,
people
you
are
can be
all
sick of
about
Biden,
extreme.
but to me, he's head and shoulders a better option than this evil, childlike, not even childlike, like children even have more common sense than this moron. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like there's videotapes of this guy calling Ron DeSantis all kinds of names and all kinds of like, and just because Ron folds like the piece of shit he is too, and drops out of the race, and all of a sudden now Trump, oh yeah, that Ron's a great guy. He's so good. Like it's just uh, like do people not hear this thing? Like it is comedic, but it's also like what the fuck? Seriously.
I know, but all these people don't believe that in themselves, and they don't believe that they can run because there's countless people that have dropped out. It's it's absolutely kind of, as
No,
an outsider looking
it's just
in,
really
it's
hilarious because also
impressive
like
that he can just do it.
even this Nikki Haley that he's running against right now for the Republican top spot. I know there were times when she really supported him, and now they're tooth and nail and sure shit. He's like attacking her, like even attacking her dress that she wore to one of the debates, whatever the hell it is. It's just
Does that
it,
shock you?
no, it doesn't shock me, but it's just classless, classless.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that should be something is a requirement for a job like that, is some degree of class.
yeah, there should be a degree of decorum. There should be some sort of way. Maybe that's why some of these guys are dropping out. Maybe they're wanting it to be Nikki versus Trump so then she can get in. I don't think that's how it's
Oh,
gonna shake out
well,
though.
let's be honest. I just hope to God the Republicans in America period don't get in because they are just not of sound mind as far as I'm concerned.
Hmm.
But that being said, she's a better devil than Trump as far as I'm concerned because I would hope so anyways. I'm not even quite sure some of the things her beliefs or her politics is about exactly, but I know in general the Republicans by and large aren't don't represent the same views I for the most part anyways because they're just so out there.
Well, they are of a conservative tracking, right? So technically, you know, if, say, for example, the Republicans were here, they would be the equivalent of our conservatives that are out here. And, as business owners, that typically aligns more. I mean, he's just way extreme in terms of um, the way he acts and things like that. But if you can, how I always talk about, I love Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. He's essentially like Trump, but he doesn't have all that crazy baggage and stuff like that. He is a businessman that is very um, conservative kind of thing, and a lot of people look at the.
But here's where Mr. Wonderful can be insulting, but it's business related and it's related right to your stupid senses when it comes to business. This
Yeah.
Trump is disrespectful on a racial level.
Oh,
That isn't, you know, it isn't um, becoming of a human being, never mind a president.
yeah, yeah.
You
I
know what I mean?
get you. Like his decorum and everything like that. He's not. He's from the outside looking in. For us, it's just too much shock value. He's too out there. Like he
He's a
has.
spoiled child. He's a spoiled
Yeah,
child, period.
yeah.
And he don't make spoiled children president, period.
But apparently you do.
You put them in a
And
corner, give them
second
a
time
timeout.
around. Because look at this. Everybody, Ron DeSantos, just like you had mentioned, dropped out. Asa Hutchinson dropped out. Chris Christie, he dropped out. He's an interesting one. I didn't think he was going to go anywhere. Doug Burgum, he dropped out. Mike Pence, he also dropped out. Tim Scott dropped out. Vivek, this Vivek guy, I totally thought was going to stay in, and he dropped out. And not only that, he endorsed Trump on top of that, saying that he's gonna put his full power right behind Trump. So there is no other choice. The only one is Nikki Haley. That's it. No more. No more choices. That's democracy for you, eh? Every, like, what does he either A have on these people, or why did these people decide that they don't have the charisma or the capability to run against him? Like Vivek,
Yeah,
maybe it's
again,
because
I
he.
don't know if it's as much that too sometimes, or is it as it is funding, right? Because it does take money to campaign.
Yeah, but a lot of these people
So,
have money.
well,
They- they-
they have money, but sometimes I guess the long term of it too, because apparently it is um because I don't believe that they just drop out because of lack of voting necessarily. Yeah, sometimes you look at the math of it, and you know, if there's no clear path, I get
Mhm,
it, but sometimes it is funding. I mean, here's where they're talking about Trump. You know, he's talking as if he's won the whole thing, but apparently it's just two states, and I'm still not sure what's happening with these other states that are opposing and be on the ballot.
mhm.
Um, I'm not quite clear on what's happening there, and so you know that I kind of find it a little odd that they're talking as if they've, you know, it's all finalized and it's all said and done when it's only
Mhm.
been two stupid states that have voted for Trump so far. I say stupid because I don't quite understand how that's even possible.
Yeah, but I
You
mean,
know,
it's from
based on his
those.
track record and based on some ducks that are swirling around this guy right now, I'm surprised that I'm shocked. Like Idaho and forget the New Hampshire.
Is it Iowa?
Yeah, Idaho and New Hampshire, I think are the two states that have voted for him so far.
Ugh, wow. Well, even look at this. I was just reading something. So this was published on January 21st, 2024. So it's Trump, Haley, and Binkley are the last to be in there. I've never even heard of this Binkley guy.
No, me neither.
And then I'm reading on, yeah, that's the only three for the Republicans. You know, honestly, it almost feels cowardly that all these people like Ron DeSantos just dropped out. Like, what on earth made them drop out? Trump defeats Haley in New Hampshire. Oof. So let's see. The road
Well, you know,
to.
and at the same time too, though, you know, th there's got to be. We sometimes forget how tight some of these people all are in terms of um business business and even you know um and I guess what I'm getting is I'm sure there's some sideshow there too in terms of you know the it's kind of like wrestling. You know, they pretend to be enemies, but really behind the scenes they're all buddies,
I love it
right?
that it ties into last week.
Yeah,
This is so
yeah.
true.
Yeah,
So maybe he's playing the part of the heel, maybe
exactly,
too well. But I
exactly.
mean,
No, exactly,
still,
exactly. And then
mm,
sometimes they'll play, even heel versus heel, but really, and the end of the day, right? Ron DeSantis has still got a job, which is,
of course,
I think that Nikki
hmm
Haley will still have a job within that group, and so they all play their part, just like wrestling. They all still have a job, but they all have their, you know,
their
uh,
piece
yeah,
where
their
they're doing.
roles, yeah,
Hmm
their supporting roles, so to speak.
Yeah, you see, and look at this road
And
to
sometimes the supporting role might be being the fucking piñata.
well, yeah, either that or they, something I realize about the Republicans over the the Biden crew, we'll call it the Democrats. The Republicans, if they notice that they're losing, they tend to drop out and then really hook themselves up to a leading horse. And in this case, the leading horse tends to be Trump. So they don't like losing, and they play the political game, in my opinion, better than the Democrats do. So like Sleepy Joe at the wheel is gonna get overpassed just because he doesn't have a good plan. But the Republicans, they're like, oh, we're fractionalizing the vote, even if it's better for them to have somebody with, you know, more, well, we'll say a better moral grounding. They're still willing to elect this person because they don't want Democrats into the thing. And then, from a lot of Republicans' mouths, you know, the liberals are the ones that are like straight up evil because I mean, look at what they're looking at. They're talking of like, you know, Oprah and people like that are like, evil. They're all Epstein followers and everything like that. So it's a real mess in the United States right now.
Oh, for
And yeah,
sure.
the rest of the world is just like, yeah, they're sitting idly by, but really, what can they do? I guess I suppose they could do what they've done with Justin Trudeau, where like I want to say it might have been the German chancellor or one of their elected officials. They said, yeah, Canada, get rid of Justin, like basically in those words. And then I don't know if you saw like a video on Tucker Carlson. He sent out a video saying, calling calling Parliament Hill in Canada and saying, hey, we're coming to free you from the tyranny of Justin Trudeau. So, I mean, maybe it's because we're a bigger laughing stock right now as to why the United States can act the way they are, because people feel that there is more of a concern in Canada than there is in the United States. And that's fact. That's all over the internet.
More of a
People,
concern for,
well, people feel that we have lost our way in terms of our political identity. Like there's many, many, many people that are lashing out against Justin. Like obviously, me personally, I don't want him to be in office anymore. I'm tired of all the taxes. I'm tired of all his crazy games and stuff like that. But when the world is speaking about it, even over somebody like Donald, who is being criminally charged, it's kind of that big red flag that goes, whoa,
well,
they're
well,
about to elect re-elect somebody that could potentially be convicted of
mhm.
heinous crimes, and because Justin causes white collar, well, actually we won't even say Justin is a criminal, but he's not been great for us.
Yeah. Well,
And the world is just like, whoa.
taxes, let's be honest, is not another matter altogether, in my opinion, worldwide that need to be addressed, especially the misuse of tax funds. as far as I'm concerned, because
Yeah.
um, not only is it being collected at a over the top high rate, and to me something that needs to be addressed as a society in general, because in Canada, for example, most people that are employees get deducted at source.
Hmm.
And then at source meaning basically before you even get your check, the government
No.
parties on your hard-earned income that you worked,
Yeah.
40 hours a week for, and taking time away from your family to put food on the table. And then not just that, every dollar that you spend after you get your deducted tax check also gets taxed when
Yeah.
you go spend that money, right, at another rate. So really, even if you're at the very bare minimum tax bracket in Canada, you're paying almost 40% in taxes after on every dollar. 40%, that's like 4 months out of the year. No,
It actually might
I
even
want
be
that government
more.
gone.
Yeah.
That's not the government. That's not the program I want to be working for. I want that system gone.
No doubt. Right.
You know what I mean?
And
Like that is bad math. That's just bad. That puts me at a disadvantage in terms of feeding my family and looking after myself and putting money away. And on
yeah.
top of it, don't get me wrong. At least in Canada, some of that money is used towards Medicare and roads and all that kind of stuff. But a chunk of it goes places I don't agree with. And one of them is military spending.
Yeah.
Period. Like that's just a no-fly zone for me. Like to me,
Right.
I'd rather feed the homeless and make sure there's no child is hungry in my backyard
Hmm.
before I go bomb people elsewhere.
It is fair. What
Well,
do you
that's just
think
me.
about the taxes going to other countries for aid?
Again, I rather make sure, the people in my backyard that are helping me support the aid are looked after first
Yeah.
before I can go give aid to someone else. Not saying, it's not an important thing, but I might
Hmm.
maybe cut back on my aid or make sure again the people in my backyard are okay
Yeah.
before I can go. It's just it's a common saying. Like you look after home before you can. If your home isn't okay, if you don't have bread in your own home, are you going to give your neighbor bread? You can't. Well, you can,
Exactly
and that's
right.
pretty noble of you, but then you deserve to die, and you will,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
deserve to live for being so kind, but chances are you won't because there's no more bread. You didn't feed. They even say in a plane or
Hmm.
the plane's going down, make sure you look after yourself, like get your oxygen mask on yourself first before you
Yeah.
help your child or anyone else, because
There you go.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to help yourself first, and then you can help others, and get
Yeah,
that done.
yeah.
No, that's
It's just
100%.
yeah. It's almost like somebody that's trying to counsel you on how to be rich, but yet you're a broke ass yourself.
Yeah. Right. This is like, yes, that is the clearest path to me not getting rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Follow
As you're
you.
following, yes,
Yeah,
you're following like a person that can't read the map at this point, right?
yeah.
That it's ridiculous. I,
Or if I have the
you
ability to feed myself, but I feed you first, and I go hungry and die, how am I gonna
yeah,
feed myself and look after you? I can't,
no, you can't.
right?
Yeah. It Our taxes are outlandish. Like
They
the
really are if people stop to think about it. But here's where again I find, as a society as a whole, the truckers stood up when it came to vaccination and pretty much, I think kiboshed that single-handedly kiboshed that as far as I'm concerned by congesting Ottawa. And I think the similar thing needs to be done over uh, tax abuse as far as I'm concerned. A similar thing needs to be done over Donald Trump. Like this fucker needs to go away. Period.
yeah.
Like period. Like
But I
like
think the latter would happen for Donald Trump. I think people won't protest, or they'll protest in favor of it, just because I think they're confused and they're just tired as to what's going on in their country.
no, for sure.
You know,
But again, I'm really kind of shocked for I'm just shocked that it's even like there's not more debate,
that's he.
there's not more
Yeah.
discussion over how and why this fucking dummy's still running. Is still even is even an option.
I don't know. It just floors me that all these people just don't want to cut their teeth and actually get in there and run against him. Like like half of these places where they're gonna go to, like so February 8th, it's the Nevada Republican
No, yeah,
caucus.
yeah. Like, listen, I think Bush Jr. was a fucking moron, but I would rather Bush Jr. than this moron.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I I am very perplexed by this whole entire situation because it makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And the
It doesn't
worst
even
to me
try.
too is how you see black people. Not a lot, but you see the odd black person standing behind this fucker. Like, seriously? Who are
Yeah.
these morons?
Well, like I said, these people they just want to hook themselves up to a winner, and at this point in time, the way this is looking, he's going to win. So they're probably like, "Ooh, if I'm seen against him, like I'm not gonna get any favor." You know what I mean? Like it's just that's
Wow.
sometimes I see people just look out for themselves, which might sound selfish, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like you were just saying, you put on your own mask first. So if they see that this guy is leading, you're like, well, I better put on my mask first, and I'll go this way instead of putting on somebody else's. Like that's, I guess he's gonna win off of fear, basically fear that they don't want the Democrats in that badly.
No, no, he's gonna win off of stupidity and lack of action, like lack of people, lack of conversation. Well, I mean, it's starting to kind of happen, but
Mm,
to me, it's on a very not a large enough microphone. And I applaud some of the states that have said no, fuck this guy for treason and for the insurrection, because here
yeah.
you have fuckers like Ed Snowden running, hiding for their lives and there's been a few whistleblowers, and to me, they're not even they're not the problem because they're ones that are actually reflecting on light on their fucking shitty actions of their country versus this
Mhm.
piece of shit like who basically try to fuck their democracy and is being considered a game?
Yeah. You know what I
Seriously?
would I
No,
I
no,
would
no.
hope.
Let's think about this. Seriously. It's like it's like someone that goes to school and fights a teacher, which I did one time, and I was up for expel. Like they wouldn't allow me back in that school, for example. And this fucking guy's being allowed back to in the White House.
Yep. Not never mind into the White House. He's going to be running the White House, running
That's what I mean.
the most
Yeah.
powerful country on the
Yeah.
planet.
How is this like like what kind of messages are we sending, really? And then on top of it, he's so brazen that he goes on national TV in one of his fucking dog and pony shows, I call it, which is basic campaigning.
Hey.
A president should be allowed unlimited fuck ups. Basically, is what he's saying. A president should be, protected. A president, and this is what I loved about in one of his I think during his sixth trials is him and his stupid lawyer used that defense and the prosecutor was basically like, okay, so the current president should be able to kill you then and walk away. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if that's the case, then Joe Biden, go do your job and get it done.
Yes. And he should be excused and absolved of those things.
Exactly.
Mhm. It's it is absolutely mind blowing.
Oh,
People that I follow, like Joe Rogan and everything, and I absolutely love Joe Rogan, and I wish I could even have him on this show with us and stuff. But I know he is
well,
a
you never know. We should reach out to him one day. You might be
maybe.
pleasantly surprised.
There you
You know,
go. Maybe,
slide into his DMs as I say. You never know.
but
You
but
never
even
know.
but where he and I differ is that he's been known to be a Trump supporter. I'm just wondering how he feels about this kind of thing. So, like, if everything was different, if it was Joe Biden that had this kind of criminology, we'll say, criminality behind him, would how would he feel about that? Because it just doesn't make sense. If Obama was caught doing all of this, it would be Trump number one Trump. Trump would be tearing Obama down, saying like, he is grabbing women's pussy during like freaking interviews and things like that. He would stop at nothing to
Well,
prevent
I
him
don't,
from
yeah,
running
and
the
here's where I don't
country.
know
You
if
know
you
what I mean?
remember all the things with even Hillary Clinton. He was all lock her up, lock her up. Well, he's done 20 times worse things than she has, and it's all been on record, and he's
Yeah,
still walking like nothing.
I know. Unopposed, unscathed. It it makes you
Honestly,
really does make you
the
go,
parts to me that are really blaring is just his blatant racist remarks and how the fact is or the fact that it's just gone unchecked. Just 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 like even aside from all this criminal yeah, even the criminal things on top of it as well. Like let's be
hmm
honest.
yeah,
Like I know some fucking Canadian banks here that, for example, and I'll call them out, Scotiabank, Royal Bank, Bank of Montreal, all of them, for example, will close your account if you're involved in any kind of criminal activity, or even if you're mentioned having any kind of criminal activity, or be involved in any, you don't have to be convicted. It just
hmm
could be in the paper,
yeah.
and
And then they're like,
they'll
yeah,
cut
shut
you
that
off,
shit down.
and they'll
Yeah.
cut you off. Okay.
hmm
In the car world, you don't have to
Yeah.
do what you could just be even associated for, somebody that frauded somebody or you could have been, and the banks won't want to deal with you. But here
Yep.
this fucking guy's running the fucking country or has that option. Get the
Yep.
fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
And the crazy thing is, like, this is going to happen. It's literally going to happen. I don't
It,
think you can.
well, you know what? Again, it'd be very sad because as far as I'm concerned, it was as sad as it is for George Bush to be elected a second term after no weapons of mass destruction was ever found, and on
Yeah,
top of
that
Sudan
was an
gets hung, and
interesting
this
one.
piece of shit is still running the earth free and clear.
hmm
You know what I mean? And after
Yep.
killing thousands and thousands of his own people, he's still running around. Yeah, so I mean, the 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 historical track is there. In terms of the U.S. presidents getting away with murder, literally, is what they do, get away with murder,
Yeah. They,
and hence why they
but
have no
it's,
shame because it's been proven time and time again, and that it just needs to stop. It needs to
yeah,
fucking stop.
I know. But they will never.
Never mind all the criminal activity and shit that they do in Africa. I mean, it is starting to catch up. Some of their stuff's slowly but surely, but not long enough or not fast enough.
Oh, not at all. Like, look at even the schedule. The On March 4th. So keep in mind, so we're going through like this notable election states. So Nevada Republican caucus, South Carolina Republican primary, Michigan Republican primary. First set of temporary government funding bills expire. So that's on March 1st. And then on March 4th, Trump DC election interference trial scheduled to start. Like, why is this scheduled so late? Like, why aren't they doing it earlier to see what's going on? Then the day after, it's the Super Tuesday. So those are the primaries in what is that? Alaska, Arkansas, Colorado, uh, Maine, Minnesota, North Dakota, Oklahoma, and the list goes on. Like, this is insane. Like, his trial for the interference doesn't start until March 4th. Like, what exactly is going on
I know.
between now and then that they can't get this going on? But I truly believe that the way this is set up is that what'll end up happening is the trial won't be conclusive, and then he can give himself a pardon by the time that they've elected a new president.
Yeah, see, to me, that's where it's all wrong because to me, this guy should not even be on any ballot of whatsoever with all this shit pending. Period.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I know.
like, 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 um, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't get that. I really don't get it. You know,
Well,
it's it's basically like giving a bad character, rewarding a bad character a bad apple, saying, hey, don't worry about it. Just
well,
keep on
it's
keep
not
on being
even
keep on being an
essentially
asshole.
that. That's
Keep on being an
exactly what
asshole.
we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like
It's
seriously. Wow. Wow.
it's funny to me that it seems like there's not enough people that care about voting against something like this that are actually coming out of the woodworks, if you know what I mean. Like it's really kind of jarring that that is the case. Like nobody wants to.
Like this has gone even to the Supreme Court. And for them to even debate this, it shouldn't be no, it should be a simple no. It should be
Yeah,
just no, sorry, no.
yeah.
You know what I
But
mean?
then keep in mind, most of the Supreme Court was were officials that he
I know,
put
I
in
know,
those positions.
I know.
So like,
But but
would they ever
we're talking
have
like
a
these are
moral
the people of the
compass?
people that have the
Mhm.
exactly these are the people with the highest moral compass
They're
in the
supposed
land.
to. They're supposed to.
In the land. Like
Hmm.
what a joke that's going to make, like even with this Roe versus Wade business thing. And I mean that I actually even get a little bit because there's a bit of a I get the controversy there, but again, even with that, as far as I'm concerned, if it's your body, it's your choice. Like no one should be able to tell anyone what they can and can't do with their body. Period.
Oh, they'll never give up that whole thing ever, like ever. They're never gonna give that up. They're always gonna have that debate on. You're talking about abortion and everything like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they're never
Like
gonna let that
no,
go.
no,
Like that should have been
it's
decided
just so foolish,
years ago.
and I hope to God none of their children or
Ever
loved one
get
was ever
raped, right?
raped, yeah,
Yeah.
and impregnated as a result of it. You know what I mean? Because that's a
Mhm.
tough thing to live with.
Yeah.
I mean, abortion in general is a tough thing to live with, in my opinion. Period. But I think a person should be given that choice.
Oh yeah, because it's their body. I mean, hell, they're allowing people to, decimate their body or carve it up and change the sex.
Well, this
And
is a
at
really
a super young age, like how is it that all of a sudden now your body becomes the government's property in
well,
terms of
and here's the flip
decisions?
irony side of it, though, too, is
Mm,
in reality, though, too, they seem to work so hard at killing people or population control. You
mm,
know, like let's face it, that's why a lot of people have been anti-vax and all this other stuff because they don't trust the government. But on the flip
mhm.
side, they're trying to promote like anti-abortion or non-abort, like
Oh yeah,
or
they're against
against abortion.
abortion.
Like you would think they'd be
Yeah,
for abortions because it's a way of population control in a way, right? When you
yeah.
think about it. So that's all kind of like, huh?
I've always tried to think about like what could be the
And
possible
and
backstory behind this. Why?
or what they or what somebody should spell out to them is probably um and again I don't know what the stats of this is, but I would imagine minorities probably have more abortions than non-minorities,
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
just for financial reasons, right? Or
Hmm.
that's how I bet if it was sold to them, they probably, yeah, let's do abortions,
Yeah, probably.
all for abortions.
Yep. The
Let,
God thing would probably go right out the window and be
let them
like,
abort.
we can control black people population? What? Why didn't we think about this before?
Yeah,
All the abortions. You get an abortion. You get an abortion. You
abortion,
get an
yeah.
abortion. Like, bam. Brown people, same thing.
Right? So I don't know. I really don't get all. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah. It's I thought as a child that every year that I was on this planet, things are always gonna get better. Now, as an adult in my 40s, it's crazy to me that we're living in a time where we feel backwards, in this country, the country below us. It's just weird. It's just weird. Like we have
Well,
all the technology in the
you,
freaking world.
well, and that's the sad part
Yeah.
is I think as a humanity as a whole, I think has had a lot of great strides, a lot of great accomplishments, a lot of great achievements, a lot of steps forward. But yeah, you're right. There's been a lot of step backwards too that kind of unravel all the steps forward, right? And and here's where I feel the steps forward has been greater than the steps backwards. But the step backwards is still kind of like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like because step backwards should be more natural, should be more not goofy, stupid little things that we actually control, or not goofy, stupid little things that, in our own households we wouldn't allow. But yet on a
Mm,
national stage we're allowing.
I don't know. I'm honestly perplexed by the whole entire thing because it just doesn't.
No, no, I mean let's think about it. Like
Yeah.
in our house,
Mm,
and I mean I get it, Donald Trump, for example, is not in our house, but we would not allow a behavior like that in our houses, in most people's homes, including
never.
people that support him.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
And
what I
all
mean?
these people that are all about like, you know, a big thing in the United States versus Canada, I feel, is like everybody is all about God, God help me do this and blah blah blah. They're very, very um they're very into the Bible. Like where does this come through then? Like I don't understand how they can consider reelecting. Like, figure out a different candidate. Like, you don't have to hook your wagon to this. So, like, how is somebody that is all about God and all about, you know, everything to do with the Bible, this is good and this is bad, and know what he's been accused of, and know what he's potentially going to be charged with,
Yeah, and then
allow
here's
that to
where,
come
yeah,
through?
because
Like,
here's where, let's use Jonathan Majors, for example. Like this fucking nigger was just trying to keep his crazy chick away. Like and he's been blacklisted and lost,
never
his
mind
Marvel
blacklisted. He
contract.
lost everything.
Yeah, he
He
lost
is not
everything, right?
even
Yeah,
as
and he didn't, he uttered some crazy words, some things that weren't cool in the sense of I think, his woman's got to be more like Obama's or whatever it was, or like Martin Luther King's wife or whatever, like
yeah.
um, um, or
Well,
to
essentially
that
that can
standard or
be
something like
construed
that.
as
But
supportive.
that's like that's like not a negative expectation to, but at the same time, someone could say like, "Who the hell are you, Jonathan Majors?" Right? But
Hmm.
that being said, my point is again, this guy lost everything
Like
because
literally everything.
because of a relationship.
Hmm.
Whereas this piece of shit president candidate has not all tax evasion, treason, bigotry. It's still an
Yeah.
option.
And that's only three listed big things. There's like the laundry list of stuff that
No, I
he
know.
committed.
Like, how is this?
Like
Like, how is this a thing? How is this
he
like
was
even
he was
like what?
pictured right next to Jeffrey Epstein. I don't even think they question him being on the island.
No, no, it's not,
And
it's
yet,
expected. If he wasn't, it'd be a surprise. You know what I
and
mean?
yet they're like, yeah, you got
Let's
to
make him
leave this
president.
country,
Let's
brother.
make him
Come on.
president. Yeah.
All
What
over
the
again.
fuck?
I I just don't understand. I don't think we ever will because they just, is it that they hate Biden that much that they want
Willing to
him
make a
in
joke of
there?
their whole country? Well, the country is already a
That's
joke, but it's even a bigger joke.
that's 4 years. 4 more years. Or maybe there is a bigger plan. Maybe the plan is, you know, you get Trump in, the trials go through, he can't pardon himself, and then they have to elevate somebody else in his place. Maybe that's the plan because they feel that
You know, what,
they can't beat Biden.
I
Like I don't get
can't
it.
say I have a clue, but what I can say is it's a bullshit plan and it's a bullshit fucking, it's just fucking stupidness all around. Period.
It's actually frightening. It's wild. And that's literally okay. We've
Frightening. Yeah, frightening.
literally,
Frightening is a good word. It's a good word. It's frightening that this
yeah,
piece of shit is still a debate. It's still an option. It still has a path.
yeah,
That is frightening.
yeah. You know what? It's funny though. Like I know this is not the same thing, but think about it this way: Donald Sterling, he he was
That was
racist,
that
and
was that
he was
a
the owner
basketball
of
owner,
yeah, he was owner of the
an
LA
NBA team.
Clippers.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So he was known as racist, and then not only that, he did like some unscrupulous things would have happened behind closed doors of his his corporation, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
We punish him by removing his NBA team and paying him what $1.4 billion for his team. Is that a punishment? Like everything in like I get it that I know he built that business.
It is in a sense that he paid real money for that at one point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
but
so
not $1.4 billion.
no, but it's punishment in the sense that you limit his ability to keep growing, right? Yeah, I'd say that's punishment. It's definitely more punishment than this prick Trump is getting, for example.
But
You
that's
know
what
what
I
I'm saying?
mean. Like it's
Yeah.
like we're on this track. Like even the owner, the former owner of the Washington Commanders,
Mm-hmm.
yet again, he was ousted for similar activities
Mm-hmm.
like Trump. The only
Mm-hmm.
reason why I bring up these individuals is they might have done one or two of the
Oh,
things that he is
yeah. Pay the
he
price.
is being accused of, and then
Yeah.
we oust them of their business.
Yeah.
Yet he's
This guy.
the
This
list
is
is this long,
and this is exactly
and
what I
then
mean.
he's gonna
This is exactly
become
what I mean.
president.
I do not
It's
get
just
it.
like
No, yeah, exactly.
really like
Exactly.
this
Like
is your plan.
even before he was made president the first time,
Yeah,
the laundry list was long and you know, to me it should have been an automatic disqualification based on that, in my opinion. And yet, you know, he even had women voters that still supported him. It's like, huh?
yeah. You know what we should do is we should have some Yankees on this show because I am very curious.
Well, you know a few, and I
Like,
know a few, so I think between us we should be able to arrange to get somebody on here,
yeah,
to get their opinion on it because I'd love to get um Mike from New Hampshire on here that just recently voted for Trump to get his thoughts on it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Maybe we'll try to get Gail on here just because the funny thing is I know
Isn't Gail
she's
from Canada?
she's from Canada, but she's now so she'll have a very unique perspective because she was born in Canada, worked
Yeah.
in Winnipeg and everything like that, and then moved to the United States, got her education out there, and now lives in Florida. And good on her. She became a an American citizen, which is a big thing.
Mm.
Um,
And Florida's largely, I think, Republican.
Oh yeah. Oh man, it's a stronghold, dude. It's a
Yeah.
stronghold. I'm curious as to what her perspective is on there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, or just like really anybody,
Well,
because
why don't we do
it's
that? Why don't we
wild.
try to schedule a couple of Americans and we'll circle back.
Yeah, we should do that. And on that note, my good man,
Yeah.
it's been a good real talk
Or
on
a good one to
Sunday.
try to get Trump or to get Rogan on to discuss too, to get his thoughts on.
I'll
And
send emails. I
yeah,
will.
you know what I mean?
We'll see if that kind of thing comes through. I mean,
Yeah.
we are just a small pod. It would be interesting to have Joe Rogan on there
Yeah,
because
we just want their
could you
thoughts
imagine?
on the
But they're
American candidates and on this exact topic. How are they
yeah,
running? How's it that
yeah,
they're running when really you should be in the penalty box?
yeah. It'd be really interesting if we could get him on there because I mean he would elevate our podcast to like I don't know what
Whatever.
we
We
would
would
do for
elevate his
him, but that would be
with some more
oh
common
yeah,
sense.
you feel that? You feel that?
What? Come on.
They,
We'd give him some color.
this is true. Well, he's got color out there. That guy doesn't discriminate
No, no,
against
we're
none.
talking some real color,
They're
some
just
Canadian bacon color,
you.
some Afro-Canadian Jamaican color.
There you go. There you go. We'll add some of that spice to him. Spice. Well, hey, you know what? I'll try that, but I'll also try some of the more realistic ones and then kind of go from there. But it would be
It's
really
all real. That's
interesting
why
to
they call
hear.
this real talk.
Hell yeah, my man. Hell yeah. Well, thank you for, once again for joining me. Everybody, please like, subscribe, smash that like
Hail
button.
Kojo out.
No doubt. Killer Kojo is out. Malcolm in the middle. I'm gone.
All right.
Everybody, take
Peace.
care. Peace.